Hi Soul Fam, welcome back to this channel where we do tarot card readings every Monday. If we haven't met, my name is Frances and I'm so excited to be here with you today, looking to the week ahead and what our spiritual teams, universe, God, source, earth, whatever it is you believe in, which might be some of these things, all of these things as one, what they are ready to share with us at this time for our greatest good. So let's go ahead and dive in. As always, we are working with the Four Noble Tarot deck. This deck is available for purchase if you feel called to it. It comes with 78 tarot cards as well as a guidebook as well that has descriptions for every card. It also has tarot card spread templates. So if you're newer to tarot, or sometimes we just have those days where we're like, I need some guidance. Like I'm feeling a little brain dead. I would rather work like off a template to be able to help guide my reading a little bit. So again, that is available for purchase if you feel called. But in the meantime, I'm going to connect energy here. Feel free to join me, or you can simply watch, whatever you feel comfortable with. Working in the light and the highest for everyone here's greatest good and deepest understanding at this time. Keeping my energy on, cleansed, and protected, and theirs as well. Welcoming in my spiritual team and every person who is here, welcoming their team forward. What to know this week, or whenever you're seeing this video. This is being filmed January 27th, 2025. But if this video found you at a different time, please know that it was meant for you whenever you're seeing it. What do we need to know, understand at this time? So to begin, understood. There's two groups of us here today, and you might be a part of both groups. Either right now where you're like, I'm feeling both energies, or maybe it's going to shift throughout the week where like you're in one of the groups today and then later in the week you shift to the other group, or maybe like parts of each day you're feeling one way and then you're the other way. We're in the two groups are energized and fatigued. So there's some of you that are like, I'm on, I'm ready, let's go. And then there's some of you that's like, I don't want to do anything. And then there are some of you where it's like kind of both, where you're like, I'm feeling energized in some areas, but not in some. Or like today I woke up feeling so tired and I didn't want to do anything, but now my energy is starting to pick up. Or maybe again, some of you are going to be on one side of the energetics earlier in the week, and then as we move down later into the week, it might flip to the other side. So just understanding that there is kind of this shift in energy of like high energy, low energy, not good, bad, just high, low, having a lot of energy or feeling like we don't have a lot of energy stores. So the cards that we have here, this is for energized, this is for fatigued, and this is either, this is for all of us. So both are for all of us depending on what your energy is. If you're only in energized energy this week, fantastic. This guidance from this card is mainly for you. If you're only in fatigued energy this week, this guidance is to how to move through that. But again, most of us are probably going to be a bit in both. So when we are feeling energized, this is the energy, this is the guidance for that energy. When we are feeling fatigued, this is the guidance for that energy. Okay, so let's see what's coming through. So when we are in this energized energy, and or if you are like, I'm the energized group right now, like I'm ready to go, this guidance is for you. But again, this is for everyone depending on how our energy shifts. So please watch both, please receive from both. But again, this is understood. They're saying this is going to require you throughout the week to be checking in with yourself. Am I feeling energized right now? Am I feeling fatigued right now? And which piece of guidance do I need to apply in this moment based on where my energy is? Okay, so when we're in an energized state, okay, that makes sense. We have the moon. The moon card is about changing of phases. So understanding that, this is really beautiful. They're saying like when you are in an energized state, how we're going to best optimize that is, or rather, okay, there's a lot coming through. Can we slow down just a little bit? Thank you, team. So energized state, it's likely you are going through a lot of changes right now. You are going through a lot of changing of phases. Things are moving. Things are requiring energy from you. And so Some of you that are like excited about that, it feels really good. It's like, yeah, things are changing. I'm participating in that change. I'm like doing the things that I need to do to make these changes happen, right? Which is really exciting. With it too, though, we have with the moon this idea of like fear of the unknown, right? We're almost afraid of the change. And so understanding that if you are feeling energized right now, just in general, I want you to optimize that because, and I'll get back to what that means in a second, but because with change, oftentimes we can accidentally stagnate ourselves because we let the fear of the unknown stop us. So right now, if you are like, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling motivated, I'm feeling excited, and I'm going to come back to, if you are not in the energized group right now, we have guidance from this card for you as well. But I want to finish what they were saying. They're like, let's tap into your energy now and like almost pre-charge you, pre-guide you, what's the word? Like prepare you for should your energy come down to a more fatigued state and or more stagnated place because of the fear of the unknown, right? So what I want you to do right now, especially if you are in the energized group, is be like, okay, I'm going through all of these changes. All of these things are really exciting. Number one, what do I want to do? How do I want to use this energy to start like participating in the change that is happening and or that I want? Number two, what are my fears? Let's take a minute to check in. What am I afraid of in this change? What am I afraid of in this, very natural state of a phase change, right? Like the moon, right? We go through our phase change. So identifying those fears so that number three, we have our action plan, right? Because down the line, you might be like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so afraid of this. And like, it makes me not want to do anything. Oh, wait, I already identified what those fears were. Let me go back to that list, that physical list that you're going to write. I'm afraid of this. What am I going to do around that fear? Is it I need to let it go because it's simply a fear? Is it an action plan to be like, oh, I'm afraid of this, but I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Okay, that's everything I can do. Now I don't have to be worried about it. So again, for the group that has a lot of energy this week, the homework is to optimize it. So take action where you feel called and also invest some time being like, what am I afraid of in terms of the idea of change? Whether it's change that I am implementing or what change in it of itself am I fearing? And how can I come up with my like action plan or like letter to myself or mantras or words of affirmation to not let that fear stop me because I'm feeling motivated. I want to stay in that energy. So let me identify the fears and how I'm going to move through those so that I can participate in the change. Okay. Now, for those of you who are more in the fatigued side, feeling like I don't want to do anything, or like I am really afraid of this change, and therefore I like feel like I don't want to participate in it, and I'm getting a little stagnated. I want you to do the same thing, but from a more restful energy. Okay. So it's like, I am afraid of XYZ. So we're still doing the identification. When I feel ready to move, which might not be right now, because I'm more on a fatigued side, what action do I want to take then? And in the meantime, I want you to come up with a mantra for finding comfortability in the stillness, right? Some examples: I am safe. I am not designed to know. Therefore, I can be still and safe in the unknown. Change is the only constant. Therefore, I do not need to fear it because it is divinely designed. Ooh, that's a beautiful one. Change is divinely designed. I am safe within that. So for those of you who are not feeling like you want to move, the moon card is rather asking you to just get comfortable with the idea of change, with the idea of stagnation within change or uncertainty within change. And yeah, maybe you do want to make that list of what your fears are and what you want to do when it's time to move. But for those of you who are energized, I want you to acknowledge change is happening. This is exciting. I can move within it. What are my fears should they come up? Or like, what are things that I've noticed in the past that are patterns that I always let get in my way? And what do I want to start doing right now to mitigate those fears, to clear them out, to overcome them? All right. Because for everyone, everything is always ever changing. All right. But that's exciting. There's a lot of really beautiful energy here. It's just the way it's coming through for the two groups. For the energized group, it's like, let's do this thing. And for the group that's feeling a little stagnated or fearful, it's let's find stillness in that. But when we want to move, we'll have our list ready to do that. And in the meantime, I'm going to practice my mantra work to know I am safe in this stillness. I am safe in the unknown. Change is always happening, but I can let it happen without needing to participate in it if there's nothing that I need to do at this time. Because ultimately, that's what it feels like. Again, remember, this is a collective reading. So that's why it's coming through for two groups today, because there are many of us here. Some of you, it's time to move. Some of you, it's not. So this is where it's up to you to identify like where you are right now. And again, that might change this week. So just being mindful of that. All right. Okay. So that was mainly for our energized group. But again, guidance for our group that feels fatigued. If you are like, I am the fatigued one, I don't want to do anything right now, this is for you. Again, if you are energized, please still listen because energy might change throughout the week. But guidance here, 10 of Pentacles. So for the fatigued group who's like, I just don't want to do anything, that's okay. 10 of Pentacles, this is the card of abundance of all forms. This is the card coming through right now of like gratitude, family, leaning into what you do have, asking for help, letting people take care of you, paying attention to what fills you up and doing more of that. This is the week to recharge. Okay, so yeah, things might be changing. Yes, there might be things required of you, but you're like, I just can't show up right now. That makes sense because you're depleted. You're tired, you're emotionally drained, you're potentially really stressed out. You might be feeling the weight of the world, the fear of the world. There might be a lot right now that is just draining you. So I want you to, I know it sounds so simple, but like really invest time, energy, and maybe even money if you can into filling yourself back up, whether that is working with a healer, myself included, a therapist, like going and getting a massage, walking outside and like taking a full lunch break. Again, asking someone to help you, going out to dinner instead of cooking dinner if that's available to you, because that might be really filling in terms of like filling up your energy so that you don't have to do the cooking and the cleaning, etc. And then also leaning into the joy of love, whether that's with family, friends, watching a funny movie that you know you love. 10 of Pentacles, again, it's abundance of all forms. So I want you giving yourself time to fill up your cup, permission to ask for and receive help, and doing things that are going to recharge your battery. Okay? Because if you're feeling fatigued, you're overworked, you're overstimulated, you need to take care of yourself so you can start tapping into this energy from the moon in time. Okay. This goes for those who are energized as well. Like, fill up your cup, do things that feel joyful. But for both groups, this is also a great week to practice gratitude for what you do have. Right now, I know there's a lot of focus on what we don't have, what is being stripped away from people, what people are losing, in a lot of different ways. We can hold compassion for that. And also, I know it sometimes feels selfish, but you have to focus on what you do have and not feel guilty for giving gratitude for that. It's gratitude, not guilt. Gratitude not only like keeps our energy full and attracts abundance to us in time, abundance of all forms, but also it allows us to have more compassion for those who maybe have less to be grateful for right now. Okay. But this is very much about, for those of you that are feeling fatigued, like permission to fill up your cup this week, because that's how you're going to start getting energized to start participating in this change that is here. Okay. Okay. Let me know if you have questions there. And again, I want to highlight, ask for help, receive help. Where can you delegate? Where can you take a break? Really important this week. Again, I want you thinking about recharging the battery. An example I like to give with this is like, think about when you plug in your phone to charge it. It charges so much faster if you let it sit on the counter and recharge versus using it while it's charging. Okay, so plug yourself in and chill to recharge. It's not about faster, but it's about more efficiently, more effectively, instead of like trying to do stuff while you're trying to recharge. Give yourself a minute. Okay. Okay. And then final two cards here. This is for this is for everyone too, but again, it's kind of like a where to focus based on your energy, but this feels very much for the collective, no matter what your energy levels are this week. I'm hearing heart. So let's see. Okay. The world. Ooh, the world. This is fun. Okay. And that makes sense why the heart was coming up. 3 of Swords. You guys, it's pretty point blank. I'm going to give the very point blank translation, but then I'm also going to expand this wider. But the point blank translation for many of you that are here watching, we have heartache, 3 of Swords, about the state of the world. Those of you that are here are likely, as they said, like empathic and compassionate and aware of global news. And a lot of it isn't sitting right with you, whether it's an event, whether it is laws, whether it is changes in that, like within that. And there's heartache around it. Politics aside, you care about people. And so there's sadness for the suffering of others. Okay. And so I just want you to give yourself grace this week that, like, it's a lot. We were not designed to know everything about the entire world. Technology has given us that. And while there is beauty in that, there's also like exhaustion in that. And it feels wrong to say that, but it's too much for us, especially our empaths, especially our highly sensitives. It's so painful. And in that pain, there is a sort of mustering up of, I don't agree with this. I want to change the world. I want to make the world a better place. Whether that's for myself, my family, the earth, people I don't know, all of the above. You, because you care so much, you are the world changer. No pressure, right? But all of us have this little piece of heartache that's starting to turn into a fire to want to make change. And what's coming through this week in relation with these cards, in relation to this, the world events, the world stage. Gosh, it's like hard for me to say this, but like permission to let it fuel the fire. And what that means is I want you to get clear on what kind of world you want to live in. And no one can tell you what that is for you. You get to define that. But what kind of world you want to live in, what is hurting you right now that's not in alignment with that, and what you want to do to be the change. Whether that is through educating your child, whether that is through sharing art, whether that is through volunteering, whether that is through becoming a part of, your local government, your national government. You get to decide what that is. But I just feel like Spirit is asking us to acknowledge the pain, but like turn it into passion for the world we want to see, the world we want to be in. Okay? So that's part one there. Part two, bringing it more to the personal side. It's the same guidance, but for your world, your inner world, and the world that's very close to you. So your friends, your family, your work, etc. So in my world, this is what Spirit is asking you to ask yourself. In my world, in my very immediate world, what is causing pain, discomfort, misalignment, or just that like, that like kind of like the ick, but like within your very immediate circle, or your inner world, meaning like your feelings, your emotions, your mental health, etc. What is misaligned, and what do I need to do or receive or understand in order to create the reality I want? Similarly to what came through last week, right? It's like we shape our reality within, with an asterisk on that. Obviously, there are some things that are out of our control, but the way that we choose to see our world, the way that we choose to understand ourselves, the way that we want to live, the energy we want to be in, the mindset, the people, the experiences, we get to choose that. So this week, I want you investing some time and energy, like what world do I want to live in out here, but also in here? And the best way to know what needs to change there, maybe not right now, maybe there are some things that we can do right now, but like starting to get very clear on, you don't have to take action this week, but getting clear on what is misaligned. Because the misalignment, the pain, the triggers, the icks, those tell us something isn't aligning here. And this isn't the world that I want to exist in. So what do I need to do to start making changes there? Is it changing my habits? Is it having a conversation that I've been putting off? Is it being really mindful of what media I allow, like in my home or in my hands? What is it? Because the Three of Swords, that heartache card, while it does acknowledge pain, misalignment, etc., it also tells us like, we kind of got to just pick up and move on now. We spent so much time grieving it or being sad about it. And I'm not talking about actual grief. That there is no linear path there. That is something I want you to move through in a way that feels the most supportive for you. But I'm talking more about like those little things in life that are just like the ugh feeling. At some point, we got to start moving forward. And this is the week to be like, okay, let's do that. Let's figure out what's not working. Let's stop feeling sad that this didn't happen or this didn't happen. It's like, let's step into problem solver energy, because I can create the world I want to live in, whether that is in my own immediate circle, internally, or externally in the world around me. At some point, I got to turn this pain into passion. I got to turn this pain into pleasure. I got to turn this pain into information that can allow me to change my situation, because I deserve to live in the world that I want to live in. And I do get to do that for the most part. Okay? So there's a little bit of like kick to the booty energy this week where they're like, we know things have been hard, but they're hard to like shine a light on the things that aren't working for you. Let's make some change there and let's move. Because you can, and because we want you to, and because you have permission to, and because there is so much beauty waiting, but you have to define what that beauty is for you, so then you know what is misaligned with that, and you know what action to start taking. Whether, again, you want to take action this week or not, it doesn't matter, but your action plan, I do want you making the plan this week, all right? Okay, everyone, if you have questions on this, please let me know how this resonated with you. Please feel free and encouraged to share in the comments. I love reading that. If you feel called to what I call the love jar, this is my PayPal donation link. I will leave the link to do so in the description box below. This helps me to show up with energy for you every week. Thank you so much. Every single penny is so, so, so appreciated. Thank you, thank you. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. That really helps me out. I am sending so much love to you. I hope you have a wonderful week. I would love to hear too, like, I know this sounds so cheesy, but like, what is the world you want to live in? Like, if you want to share that in the comments, I would love to hear that. For me, it's a world of unity, compassion, love, abundance of time, energy, joy, connection, and lightness. Like, we live on the most incredible planet that gives us everything, and we're forgetting that because we're so busy hating each other. It's like, who cares? Like, we need to care about hating each other. That's not what I mean. I'm just like, we're all people that get to be here. Can't we just like be here and enjoy this experience that we chose to have? I know that's like kind of a naive mindset, but it's so hard for me because I get angry where I'm like, it could be that simple, but we let all these ego-driven things like money and power and I'm the best like get in the way. It's like, can't we just be here, right? And I know it sounds so hippy-dippy, but that's the world that I want to live in. So I would love to hear the world that you want to live in. Anyways, I know I'm rambling now, but I hope you have a beautiful week. I hope that wherever you are energetically, you find ways to fill up your cup, recharge your battery, and identify the world that you want to live in and how you want to start creating that. All right, everyone, I will see you next Monday.